Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Thank you so much for joining us live if you're watching online. And everybody here at the Rare Drop Theater, thank you guys. And thank you for coming to GuardianCon supporting a great cause.
Make some noise if you're out there.
Yeah. Nice.
Joining me on the set, CJ Gibson, on my right, your left.
What's up? Nice. Bringing it
back.
back.
On my left, your right, Fran Mirabella.
Hey, Guardians.
And on today's show, we're going to be talking about a little bit about the news. We're going to do a fairly traditional show. We're going to talk about some of the quality of life changes that we heard about in the Game Informer coverage. We're going to talk about the new bounties that are coming up. And we're also going to rank the raids with everybody here in attendance. And we put some polls online, so if you want to vote,
There's still time.
Be checking those. Where can people vote right
now?
Yeah,
check out youtube.com/fireteamchat. Go to the community section in your tabs on the app or on the page. But there's still time to vote. There's about 800 votes apiece between Destiny 1 and 2, so there's still time.
Definitely.
I think I know how this is going to go, but we'll save it to the end of the show.
Crota's end.
Yeah, probably not.
So let's get right into it. So basically, the Game Informer article came out, and we were talking last week, was it?
Yeah.
About lost sector changes and some ideas.
You were venting. I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, I was venting. Might have been venting a little bit.
Don't say the words.
Yeah, but apparently they are reworking lost sectors, and Flashpoints, you're going to be able to do them bi-weekly.
Yep.
And there's going to be boss tier characters, 6 of them, in total that you can face. Basically, you're going to be chasing down the people from Prison of Elders and reining them back in or just killing them.
That's cool. Yeah, probably killing.
6 total, not in the new destinations, but in the other destinations. You just go, you track them down, you take them out. I really, really like this. What else have I noticed? Sectors are getting reworked. Outlaws. Lost sectors will give you a higher tiered enemy. You'll be hunting down escapees from the Prison of Elders to have a new boss encounter per destination. This is great. This is an excellent addition, utilizing an area that I thought could have been buffed up a little bit.
Yeah.
They did it.
Yeah, you're right.
What do you got, Fran?
I was just going to say, it seemed like their goal was not to fix lost sectors necessarily so much as to fix flashpoints. They felt you were waiting around for publics. Do you think that's what it was about?
Well, that's all it was. It was all public events. Right. They also added patrols into the mix. So you got patrols, you still got your public events, and now you have lost sectors that all contribute to your flashpoint percentage every week. And this is just great.
Yeah, I mean, well, because lost sectors were really cool looking, but there was nothing to do. Fight a boss, empty, a treasure chest. That's it. You're done.
Yeah.
It felt like there was something missing. So this is really nice if they're going to add stuff like that to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think inevitably, it's funny that it still has all the same pieces that were sitting there. They're just giving you a little more credit. And like what I scanned for that was not there yet, for me at least, was what we still need answered. Well, what's the reward? Because I can already do my flashpoints.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Is it faster? Is it whatever? Like, sure, it is good that I can do things in between, but we saw that with faction rallies.
They talked about legendary or better rewards.
There you go.
I mean, I did.
So you're saying if you opened it up and got 2 tokens in a blue, you would not be excited. Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
Congrats on your 1 token. Great.
But when you think about it,
And that's the thing, yeah.
sorry, faction rallies, you could do all those things. And in fact, that was a very fast way to do it. Like publics, patrols, and then get into a lost sector at about 4, and then reset your. I just lost the word for it. In faction.
Renown.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it'd be better to do 4. But that's all you were doing. But we have more to that too.
So this is good, right? Guys, everybody
digging. I mean, for me, the yellow bar enemy thing, I think, do they say that there's going to be a little bit more variation to killing an enemy? It sounds like there's going to be.
So based on the footage that we saw, it seemed like more of a puzzle thing. Like you got to take out the ads first, and then take out the main boss.
That part,
I like that.
I'm excited about that because I think it just everybody usually wants a challenge with Destiny, and that was a problem I think with Destiny 1 is the challenge was just insane difficult, and then they kind of scaled it back completely. Feels like a nice balance.
And 9-player escalation protocol was not mentioned in any way. So hopefully they address the matchmaking there because I actually really like escalation protocol. I like the puzzle elements of those bosses.
Yeah.
And it would be great to just be able to do that with a full group.
Yep, for sure.
Like a raid.
Right.
Yeah, you're just going to pop that matchmaking right in there.
Yeah. Additional quality of life changes. CJ, you brought this to my attention. We're going to be able to just go to whatever strike we want because they're going to put them on the map.
Yes.
Oh my God, what a revelation.
There it is. That's good.
Audience likes that. I like that.
I'm very happy.
We're all very, very happy.
You don't want to play the same strike again?
No, I want to go to the one I want to do and play that one again and again and again.
So who's actually played a lot of the new strikes and nightfalls and stuff like that and have gotten a lot of the new weapons that have been out? Are you guys grinding those? So it's
But you
weird.
got DFA, you got the shotgun, you got the Ikelios weapons.
Silicon Aroma.
Yeah.
So I actually have none of them, and I've grinded them about 20, 30 times. I know you have Fran.
Great
has,
take
like,
on Fran.
Fran
DFA,
has the
Silicon
worst
Aroma.
life luck, but the best Destiny luck.
It's true.
It's unreal.
Lately, Destiny 1, I had a terrible time with.
Friends
Fatebringer.
like, I got DFA,
that's
but
right.
my machine
My
is
computer
shooting
just
water.
is leaking blue liquid all over my socks. True story, that happened on stream.
But you got DFA.
Yeah, but I have the weapons. Were you getting
got
at
most
how
of them.
crazy the grind is?
Well,
or-
yeah, I'm glad that part of the grind's back. So if in this situation, I appreciate that you can now decide, hey, I don't have this, and then actually pick the one that you want to go. And I don't know if that's going to work if it's just Nightfall. So
Yeah,
that's-
I don't think it'll be that.
Yeah, who knows?
I
It's
think
gonna be
you'll have to
interesting to
wait
see.
for the cycle still. Just
Yeah.
like EP, right?
Yeah.
You can't just go in and get.
I'm
what you
hoping.
want.
That's what I'm hoping for. It'd be nice to be able to strike grind for like a specific weapon.
Maybe
in
if they
the
have new
actual level.
stuff, they'll let you go back now to those because there will be new strikes with maybe those will be the new
Yeah,
focus.
inside of the drops. Yeah. So
Some of the other changes that we were going to talk about before we get into the viciousness of killing off some of the raids that we didn't like. No, just kidding.
Killing them off.
Bounties. So the senior
Yeah.
design lead, Tyson Green, did say that bounties were originally removed to streamline the experience. They realized it was an overcorrection. I feel like we've heard that before.
yep.
Glad they realized it, though. New bounties obtained from a variety of vendors. I really like hearing that.
Yep.
And bounties expire if left uncompleted. Acquiring cost a small amount of glimmer. Wait a minute. Part of the fun was stacking your bounties and then
Yes.
being able to address them when you had time. I don't really like the expiration mechanic. How do you feel?
I mean, I get why they're doing that, I think. And this, so you'll hear me say this. I feel like I say this kind of stuff all the time, and everybody's going, oh, yeah, there he is, defending galore. But no, like, I stacked bounties all the time. So I would sometimes have, even for
Horde.
trials, a horde of bounties. My last couple pages were all trials bounties. So I would stack up like 10 or 15 in a row and then do trials and complete them. I wish that was going to be back. So if they're expiring, does it say how long the expiry is? Are they like they expire per day or per week or the reset?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to figure that out as we get closer, but I haven't heard anything yet.
So I hope the expiry is not 24 hours on like daily bounties. I hope the expiry is maybe just, a week. If that's the case, I think I'm fine with that, but I mean, I wish that there was an expiry date actually.
I agree. Yeah, I don't understand because part of the fun for me with bounties was figuring out which ones to pair together. Like you could get do all melee damage, get kills on Mars,
Yeah.
and also precision damage, precision headshots on Vex. You
Yeah.
know, and then you can kind of work on all those in the same space or at the same time. But if they expire, it means you're not going to be able to mix them all up like that. Did you guys do stuff like that when you played?
Yeah.
So do you guys like that that's going away or no?
Yeah, so hands up. Expire, are you excited that they're expiring because it makes you to do other things, or would you rather it not expire? Hands up, you want them to expire. Only two or three.
Yeah.
Hands up, you do not want them to expire.
Everybody else.
Everybody else.
I was going to ask, like,
There's
do
about
they-
100 in here, so.
I was
Well,
going
I
to
mean,
say,
there's-
dude, not sure, but
Small sample size, Bungie, but people don't want their bounties to expire. Please don't do that in the final code. They don't watch. They listen.
by the way, I
smiled.
I pulled up Rare Drop Co. on Twitch,
Yeah.
so if you're in chat, I'll try to
Yeah,
keep an eye on it.
there's that with the
Yeah,
question mark.
we'll be checking. Questions from chat. We have this mic over here too. So later on, there is a piece of tape over there. We'll do live questions after
Yeah.
you guys decide which raid was the worst. And then yeah.
It's not bad. I will
So-
say, I do like that bounties are back. I am excited about because challenges, I did not feel like I connected with challenges. I didn't feel like I connected with them in PvP or PvE. Really do appreciate bounties are back, though, in general. to the
Yeah.
game.
Tyson Green went on to say, we wanted to avoid the grab every bounty you see until your inventory is packed and sort
Yeah.
them out later experience without constraining players to the tiny inventory they found in previous iterations of the game. That's my problem, though, and that's not really a complaint. I never heard that complaint before.
Well, I mean, that's the reason they did the upgrade of the bounty slots from year 1 to Taken King. I
Yeah.
mean, so there must be a certain amount that you can carry, and without knowing what that number is, if they're not divulging that, then there's probably some reasoning there.
And then here's actually where they said legendary or better rewards, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that the
Yeah, like that's
Lost
the part that's
sectors
not
was-
clear. I think it's like you ran into, I think it was last week or a few weeks ago, you're like, well, we don't know exactly how it works yet. It's a little hard to judge
Yep.
without knowing the reward system. But
just don't let them expire.
it
and
scared
it'll be
me.
better.
I'll say that. I was like, wait, a constraint. Oh, no.
Yeah.
What's the, can you guys help me out? And I don't know if you can remember. What was the bounty that you did to get Icebreaker in year 3? It was like Sun something. And
Does anybody remember? I don't. What do you got?
The sundown missions, we have to get the night Vanguard Nightfall.
Yeah.
Vanguard
Yeah, you do
Nightfall
Vanguard
Sundown missions.
I think, yeah. Well, it's usually the Fallen
We don't-
Saber, I think, or something. And then you would cash the
That
bounty
sounds
in,
right.
yeah, and wait for it to drop.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. You would
that-
have to do the blue one from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I like that and those kind of bounties. If there's some bounties that have those kind of rewards
Legendary
attached to them,
or better. Maybe that's what they mean.
I'm game for that. That's really good.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so all in all, bounty system sounds great. It's good to be back. I think with Forsaken, we're getting to a place where we're really close to what Destiny 1 was. And if they do any expansions after Forsaken, well, they have the 3 from the annual pass.
It's just funny when
Well,
you say that.
They're going to
We're
be
getting really close to Destiny 1 again.
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
Let's be honest, we've talked about that a lot on the show.
Yeah.
And I think they've learned their lesson. Like, oh, maybe we shouldn't start back at the beginning and
Yeah.
retroactively revert back to what the original game was.
Yeah, I mean, even the power weapons with 3 shotguns and stuff like that. That's cool. That is something that I was hoping for a little bit of innovation like that. So I'm glad that it wasn't like hey, we're just going back to the old D1 weapon system. I think it's gonna be a lot of good things.
I really want to know what they're going to do with the mod system because it's still bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything yet, but hopefully.
I think they said that they're going to take it away from being power level now. I don't think it's going to be power level dependent anymore, like increasing your level. Plus
I'd be
5.
happy about that.
You're actually
Yes.
too loud this time.
Whoa, is that a thing? Does that happen?
Yeah.
Normally Dustin's talking over me, so it's.
I'll work on it.
I don't even know.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Fran? Anything?
I was just saying I agree. I don't want mods to have to deal with the power.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
Even playing after all this time, I'm like, why do I have to keep looking?
Yeah,
It just doesn't make
inside
sense.
the mod.
Speaking of confusing, I was a little confused as to why they're getting rid of the Prismatic Matrix. Like, they're taking it away to rework it. I actually like the Prismatic Matrix. They
Yep.
did say they got some feedback that they want to address, and it's going on hiatus next week, coming back in Forsaken, made better, so it'll be relaunched in the next season, so this fall, right? I really like the Prismatic Matrix. Did you guys like the system, or yes?
Yeah? Nice.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
raise your hand if you did not like it. And it's fine.
So just a couple.
And if you liked it, raise your hand. Yeah, everybody liked it. It was kind of a cool way to get gear and get emotes and get ornaments for your weapons and armor. And why take it out? Why not just leave it in there and then launch with the new system?
I mean, so yeah, that's another good question. I think at least from a standpoint of even bright engrams and things, it took less focus off Eververse. So it was more of a, hey, I can do this, I get this thing, and then maybe I get a chance to get this other thing that I want. So if they have a better idea than that, great. Hopefully that comes into play.
I'm proud to say I've not spent a single cent at the Eververse. Fran, what were you going to say?
Oh,
Wait, I was talking about Prismatic Matrix.
Yeah,
Can we
go
answer
ahead.
that after?
yeah.
Because it's a longer answer.
No.
Prismatic Matrix, my theory
Funtertainment.
was that they're going to tweak the Eververse again, and that it's weird the way they presented it. We were talking about it at the house that we're staying in before we got here, and it was sort of like they presented it like it was always supposed to be limited time and scheduled. I was like, really?
Yeah.
I never got that sense. But
I didn't.
But now I get the sense as you track to Forsaken, they're saying, look, get this stuff now because it is going to change, and they're probably just going to ditch the system, I assume, or maybe make it very limited time. But I assume that's why. Like, we're all approaching a whole new world of weapons and items, and maybe they want there to be a little more rarity left on what's out there. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's weird.
maybe.
It's
I'm
definitely
not
weird.
sure. Any questions from chat? I see you looking over there.
How much money have you spent on microtransactions
Oh, there
in
it
any
is.
game
There's the
whatsoever?
question.
Destiny 1 included?
I have not spent
Destiny
any
1, you
either.
have the expense reports.
I've spent 0.
But he did it
Yeah.
for work.
Oh,
Totally.
there it
Hundreds
I had
of
to
is.
make
dollars.
the video.
And Fran does it for, what do you do it for, Fran?
Funtertainment.
There it is.
So I stream, and I did buy, get the booze and hisses ready, the Iron Banner emote.
I'm doing people
I
a
agree with you.
service.
I agree with you, and I would use it to say, not worth it.
Not worth it.
But I'd show it to you,
Does the emote.
and then you can dance with
I'm
it.
never gambling again.
Honestly, I didn't think it was worth the price, but I honestly do buy some things in
Did
Fortnite.
you just say you think it was worth the price?
It was not worth
Okay.
the price.
I wanted to hear that clearly.
See what they try to do. It's a shame campaign, these guys.
Yeah, so that is basically everything I want to talk about, get you guys caught up on the news. I myself have avoided a lot of the Game Informer coverage because some of it got a little spoilery for me.
Yeah.
But really excited about the quality of life stuff they've been reporting on.
Yeah.
And they did a really fun video with the questions.
They did. Stephen Scott, yeah, that was a great video that they did. Yeah, the quick questions.
So now, We're going to rank the raids, and we're going to do it with the help of chat. We're going to do help of the polls that we have over on youtube.com/fireteamchat. Did you do it on Twitter?
Nope.
Nope, just
YouTube,
youtube.com/fireteamchat. Go to the community tab and vote, and we'll take those into account later. So basically, we are going to pick the list.
And maybe let's even talk about like some of our favorite raid experiences leading up to it as well too.
So here's how we typically do this on IGN. You have to put them on the list, but then something has to come off. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm. 7.
Like. Yeah.
Jeez, that's loud.
So all right, CJ.
That is.
What is your number 1?
So I'm one of the few on the panel and in the office who has kids. 3 kids. And to me, it's kind of like ranking the raids is almost like picking your favorite child. You can't really do it.
You get 1.
You get 1. Okay, there you go.
You get to pick 1 favorite.
But there's something to be said about the first is always just special. Mm-hmm. So for that reason, VOG will always be, I think, my favorite raid.
VOG is on the list. Okay.
Mr. Nostalgia.
What do you got, Fran?
VOG.
My number 1.
Yeah.
This is actually, I've never been able to commit. I was thinking about it, and I would do this, and I would just go round and round and round we go.
Yes, they're all really good.
But I remember saying it kind of roundaboutly, and I'm going to commit to it now that I've played them all, extensively. King's Fall. I really like King's Fall.
There you go.
I like it specifically because it is a little convoluted. It's hard. It's like each encounter was special, where what they learned after that with Wrath and Future Stuff, they kind of taught you some mechanics that you carry forward, which I do think is kind of smart. But there's something really special to me about King's Fall that and it was some of the best times.
Yeah, so Prime Destiny.
So we do this on Unlocked and Beyond, and what we do is we get to pick the ones, and then we put them all sort of on the list in an order.
So we got VOG.
And then we get to move them once, and then you guys get to move them to any position that you want. So we're going to have a really wacky list by the end of it. I'll put Wrath on there, and number 3.
That's your number 1?
No. my number 1's Vault
But
of
you
Glass.
can't pick the same thing we did.
I thought CJ was going to say Crotazen.
Well, so for maybe some context, is it roughly like a second pick for you, kind of, is where you're going with that?
Wrath would be like 3rd.
Oh.
It's like basically the order is VOG, King's Fall, Wrath of the Machine, and I think we're going to get into an argument about VOG versus King's Fall at the end of the thing. But all right, so we'll just
I will say this: I ran Crota the most though, and everybody was like, "Well, maybe it's just because of the time at Destiny. It's obviously a little bit shorter, kind of like a strike. You could also solo it, or do it with a group of 2. How many here did it with 2 people?" Gjallarhorn, and you're there you go. So that's the thing.
Crota.
Crota. I did that every day with Craig Barrett on. He's the former IGN editor.
Old school IGN.
All right, so working down the list, we have VOG, King's Fall, Wrath of the Machine at number 3.
Yep.
Now, for number 4, does Crota, Leviathan, Eater, or Spire go there?
Wow.
You think the D1? Chat.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
So the remaining ones that we have not given a place are Crota, Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, and Spire of Stars, the 2 raid layers. So what goes in number 4? Crota over Leviathan, you're saying?
We're going to have to do a show of hands.
Yeah, show of hands for Crota. Show of hands for Leviathan.
That's
I think Leviathan just barely beat it out.
But it's like 50-50.
Yeah,
we had
and you guys are going to get to ruin this list later, so don't worry.
Yeah. You can blow it up. Really, in chat before we did that vote, a lot of people saying original VOG. Nothing beats original Vault of Glass.
They're right.
But someone said Wrath was amazing, and Wrath was pretty. In fact, the people, DJ Vinny, Radiant Duke, Safe Cloud, thanks for chiming in on.
So here's what I like about Leviathan, though. I will say it felt like a nice departure of what all the raids were of Destiny 1, but over time, not digging it as much, like looking back. So it's a fun raid in the moment, but from like a repeat standpoint, replayable, I just don't think it's as good as the others.
Okay, so we have 2 left. We have Eater of Worlds and Spire of Stars. Ooh. So which one goes first?
I know what
for the last 2 spots. Is Eater of Worlds better than Spire of Stars, or is Spire of Stars better than Eater of Worlds? So out of the 2 raid layers, who votes for Spire as their number 1 pick? I think I'll go Spire, and I'm in the wrong.
Before voting.
And Eater of Worlds? All right.
I actually really like Spire.
Yeah.
I thought
Argos is awesome.
I thought Argos was one of the best
boss.
bosses, actually, almost of all time. If you could take a highlight reel of all the different bosses and counters and stuff like that of all the raids, Argos is probably, for me, like top 3.
I love enemies that just stand there and do nothing, and then you shoot
them. No. It was... I love how anything I like, Destin just has a way to go,
Yeah.
No, I'll just shoot an at you.
No, but it's a combination of the teamwork that's involved and the fact that you're scaling this crazy beast and there's like jumping involved, and
No, go ahead with your.
Okay,
long
well, there's a lot of people
phrasing.
who actually like that as well.
I know,
Too. So,
I know.
mean, I really do think that Argos was a really cool mechanical boss because a lot of teamwork involved in it.
What's the current list again? Can you?
So the list, yes, to go over it for everybody. Here's where we're at right now, and now we get to make switches, and then you guys get to ruin everything. So, Vault of Glass, number 1. King's Fall, number 2. Wrath of the Machine, number 3. Leviathan, number 4. Crota, number 5. Eater, number 6. And Spire of Stars, dead last. Worst raid you've ever played, Spire of Stars.
Which is really still pretty good.
That's what everybody's saying right now. So we get to make switches now. You get to move one somewhere else on the list if you want to. So CJ, do you want to make any changes?
Yeah, this is
We don't
the
have
current
any
list at the top.
visual aid,
But
so
the
chat's
audience
up
is
with
moving this, right?
Yeah.
CJ's
Or
doing
we-
it. We're going to
we
do
do
it
first.
first, and then they get to ruin our list if they disagree with us.
So Vault, King's Fall, Wrath, I believe is the correct top 3.
Okay.
Um,
In that order?
in that order, actually.
Which is the
All right.
current order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no changes from CJ.
I'm not sure if you know what. I'm just going to do this to shake things up. I'm going to put Crota ahead of Leviathan only because I'm a nostalgia guy. You guys know that about me. That's my contribution to the list
Unplug
swap
his
here.
Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, all right.
100%.
Breeze him.
We
There was
all
not-
did it. We all unplugged the Ethernet cable, and we all did the
no.
icebreaker glitch. Yes, we did.
I
The
didn't
icebreaker
unplug. I
glitch
never
for heavy
unplugged my
ammo.
Ethernet
Did you
cable.
cheese heavy
it was,
ammo?
For me, I'm like, why don't we just do it the right way? Yes.
First
well,
week-
okay,
hey,
Mr. White
listen,
Lie
yeah,
over here.
Exactly. Forever 29, we all did that because you were not level 30.
Well, he
So-
would also drop a knee and it was broken. I mean, you just sort of were resorting to. Okay, so
You going to move anything, Frank?
currently we have Vault of Glass, number 1, King's Fall, number 2, Wrath of the Machine, number 3, Crota's End, number 4, Leviathan, number 5, 6, Eater of Worlds, and Spire of Stars at 7. I have to unseat the order a little bit here because, as already stated, King's
Control
Fall is
freak.
better than
Okay, well.
Vault
I
of
still have a
Glass.
turn, so that's fine.
Jeez.
So we're putting King's Fall at number 1. Vault of Glass, absolutely. I love it, number 2, both for nostalgia and design. And the drops, man. They were so good.
They were good.
Remember, you can only swap positions.
Is that what I did?
Yeah, you did it right.
I did it right.
Yeah.
What do you mean I can only swap
No,
positions?
it's fine. Just move wherever
Do
you
I
want.
only get one?
This is
Did I do it right?
This is off the cuff. Like,
Wait, did I do it right, though?
You're fine.
I'm
Yeah,
okay
swap
right
the
now?
first two.
Just
Oh,
move
you
it wherever
can normally
want.
only go one spot. Is that what you're saying?
I've only done this once on Unlock.
Okay, it's
So,
fine.
but it's very
No,
just like
they're
a
gonna
funny-
blow up the
the
list
rules
anyway.
as we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
So,
Got it.
yeah, other than that, I mean, I would,
Yeah.
I would put Leviathan ahead of Crota. So.
You would.
But
All right.
however you're doing your rigged list.
All right. So if it's
Correct.
my
So why don't
turn,
you just tell
I'm
us
gonna
what the list
I'm gonna
is clearly?
I'm going to take King's Fall because it doesn't matter what Fran just did. I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it at the bottom.
No,
Oh,
okay, you
what
can't.
is happening?
But this is your
And
official
I'm going to put
opinion.
Spire of Stars at the top.
What is happening? What are you doing?
But this is your official opinion that is now on the record. So you're good with this?
Yes. Clearly, there's nothing weird going on here, and this is definitely my definitive list.
See?
So
All
here's
a show,
the
this
order
guy.
now. Spire of Stars, number 1. That one guy agrees. Vault of Glass, number 2. Wrath of the Machine, number 3. Crota, Leviathan, Eater, and then King's Fall. What thing are you going to move first? So
Jeez.
Breaking
the system,
Floxrin in chat says, "Guy is a moron."
all right.
Screenshotting that?
I know everybody wants to move King's Fall, so where are we going to put it? Did we put it in the number 2 spot where it belongs? Whoa! I heard some number 3 spots. All right, who wants King's Fall in number 1? Raise your hand.
Wow.
Okay, number 2. I assume it's
not enough.
it's either Vogue or King's Fall. Can we agree on that in number 1?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's normally how we narrow this down.
Yes. Okay.
Wait, why don't we do? If you agree, it's Vogue or King's Fall at 1 and 2. Raise your hand. Somewhere in there.
One or-
some in there. Or
Yeah, okay.
That's a lot of. It's a big
Okay.
majority.
All right.
Okay.
So, how are we going to do this? Which one's number 1? That's what we need to determine. What does our poll say? We need our poll, Fran.
Yeah, let's take a few notes from the poll. Now we
Yeah.
did have to split this up because no poll apparently on social supports that you can have 7 entries, which I think is ridiculous.
The Spire thing was a joke. I'm just going to move it back.
No, I'm just going to take a screenshot of that.
All right, now
That's
see,
great.
good job, Floxrin. You really
Fox, yeah.
Well, they're
scared
going to
him.
move
That's
it.
awesome.
But just so you guys
think of the
know,
logistics.
checking in on YouTube, let me make sure to refresh the latest data. So, what
Leviathan's
is your
number one according to YouTube?
What is your favorite Destiny 1 raid? They said Vault of Glass at 41%, King's Fall number 2 at 33%. So those were the top two for King's Fall and Vault of Glass by a big margin. Wrath was only 19% and Crota Zen only 7% of the vote. That is about 1,000 votes on, again, Fireteam Chat YouTube. And then for Destiny 2,
Everybody hates Spire.
Leviathan was overwhelmingly the biggest one at 53%.
Yeah.
Eater Worlds, 35%. Spire Stars in third at 12%. I have a theory on that, which is I don't know how many people played the other ones. That could also factor into it. I should have put in I didn't play all of them. But that would, whatever.
Yeah,
it would ruin the amount of votes. But that's it's tough. Making polls is tough.
So that kind of puts things into a new perspective. I'm going to take this into account. I need to see the results there.
The percentages?
Really quick. Yeah, if you could show me the two
Do you want me to
results.
go
So then,
over
I
it
think,
again?
and then I think we should do
Eater,
a
and
top
then we're
3.
Crotafall.
Oh, the
once we
tops.
narrow it down.
So again, since it's split, you have Vault of Glass at number 1 and King's Fall at number 2 for Destiny 1. So even at number 1 is Leviathan, and you gotta kind of decode.
Yeah.
We didn't have a vote between.
I'm
the
just
two.
doing my best here. Where did Wrath fall?
Wrath was third place on Destiny 1.
Okay, so based on the very official math I just did in my head, here's the list. The YouTube polls have corrected it to be the following: Vault of Glass, King's Fall, Leviathan, Wrath of the Machine, Eater of Worlds, Crota, and then Spire at the dead bottom. Is Spire the worst raid?
No, come on.
Out of all of them, you have to.
Well, what is the worst?
I love
that's
that.
a really good question.
Yeah. So what is the worst raid?
That the least. Thank you. See, I always go,
what'd he say?
I like
No.
it the least. And Destin goes, it's the worst. It's like that's a different connotation.
He says,
when
which do you
say it
hate
like that.
the most?
Yeah. Which raid did you hate? Which raid do
You
which
hate.
never existed?
So,
all-
guys, guess
they're all
what? Based on this, you hate Vault of Glass the least. Yeah.
Exactly. No, but
That's
but
accurate.
actually, out of curiosity, we'll start with you, tough guy.
What's my least favorite raid?
No, I just want to clear the air in the room. Do you hate any of the raids, or do you think any of them are bad quality? I mean, be honest, like that they're not or not good. Let's use that word. That's not good.
So here's the thing. Let's talk real quick. Let's talk real quick.
So
No.
at least we think
Hang-
they're all good.
Hang on. Let's go through what
I
what
was
is your
trying to
favorite
think,
thing.
were there any
See, this
glaring
is just like the real
negative
show.
things? Yeah.
Can you hear me for a second?
What?
Let's talk real quick about some of your favorite things in each raid. And well, whatever. And then what do you not like in a specific thing you don't like about a raid? So it gives you a chance to hate on something, Dustin.
That's a lot of material.
Well, I mean, so raids are sort of interesting experiences. You spend hours and hours and hours with a close group. Well, sometimes you're not close by the end of it.
Your enemies.
But with just a group of people, right? And you're with those 6 people usually through the whole experience. Sometimes, if you're doing it on launch day, it can get a little heated, but your bonds of friendship become a little closer. So there's unique aspects to each of these. I have memories of raiding with different groups for each of the raids. Spire Stars, I've been playing with this guy Timothus, and he'll be very happy that I actually said his name on the show for once. Vault of Glass, I used to play with a random group of people who aren't really into Destiny anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm totally blanking on names, but like we actually did Vault Flawless before Crota came out, and we did it that way, the hardest raid to do the Flawless run on. And then King's Fall was just sort of a fun experience, and
does anything stand out as sort of like the obvious best and worst?
I can
that's what
say
you're
it works
getting at.
because
it's tough for me to say which one is the worst. Going back and playing Crota, I'm just kind of like, eh.
Oh, I got so many fond memories of Crota. I think it's where I was with Destiny.
But if you go back and play it today,
I still think it's fun, but it's
is
a
it
nostalgia
nostalgia
feeling.
play?
Yeah, it's a nostalgia feeling.
It's a cool style.
Yeah. Here, I can go. I can say that absolute worst still, do not like dogs. Leviathan. Like, I didn't like them the first time. Don't like them now. There's just something about it that's frustrating. There's not a lot of like direction and mechanics of what you're supposed to do and all that stuff, and it's fine now that I know, but in the moment when we were doing it, it was super frustrating. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I can play off that,
Because
which
it's buggy,
is
right?
you're hitting on what mine was a little more broad, which is I really like the puzzle stuff in Leviathan, all this stuff.
Yes.
I kind of asked for it. I was like, oh, cool, you know, really neat that they played with stuff, but it lacks these bosses, and that's what I liked so much about King's Fall. So that's what I saw, but I really liked a lot about Leviathan and the style and the scope, but then I was like, where are the bosses? And that's why I don't like dogs. I was like, just let's get on with it.
Yeah. It's like puzzle. There's one where there's literally nothing you fight except red bars. You fight, and then the orange bars come out, and then you stand on the platforms for Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. They're all puzzle based, and a lot of people don't like that. I think they went too puzzle based. They should have.
Yeah, it was too much leading up to Callus, I think.
All right,
Callus is fun though.
So to ask everybody out here for a second, remember the list is Vault of Glass, King's Fall, Leviathan, Wrath of the Machine, Eater World, Crota, Spire. Who wants to move Leviathan from the third place slot, and what does it need to be replaced with? Let me know. Raise your hand if you want to move Leviathan, or you think it's good in spot 3.
Raise your hand if you want to move it.
Yeah.
Okay, so people want to move it. Where
don't
to?
like it in 3.
Yeah. So where does it go? Number 4. Number 5. Number 6.
So 4 or 5.
All right. So we'll move it down. You guys are going to unseat its place from number 3. We're going to move it. So now the new order will be Vault, King's Fall, Wrath of the Machine, Eater of Worlds, and then Leviathan below Eater. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Crota and Spire. All right. I think that's the list.
Yeah. Should we take a quick comment on the current status of the list? Like from
Status
somebody?
of the list is Vault of Glass, King's Fall, Wrath of the Machine, Eater of Worlds, Leviathan, Crota, Spire. Does anybody want to say anything about that?
That's what I was thinking.
We do have the mic set up. So go ahead, line up behind the piece of tape. We're also going to do questions. So we'll line up for raid stuff first. And then right after that, there's a black piece of tape right there. And then we'll take questions one at a time about the raids. And you guys can kind of say your piece. That's fine. Just it doesn't matter, guys. None of this matters.
Yeah.
Anyway, you first. Go ahead, step up to the mic one at a time. And, tell us what you think. All right, so what did we get wrong?
I wonder the lack of popularity of Spire's Stars means that not a lot of people got to 370 or 375 or 380 to do it properly with an effective team.
Yeah.
I agree.
Good point.
In this room, not a lot of people seem to like it. But online, also not a lot of people seem to like it. You guys seem like Destiny fans. How many of you guys played it? Let's see. Show of hands. Not a lot of people got that far. That's really, really interesting.
It's a big grind.
Now, is that, I was going to say, it's
dude,
the grind.
I almost died. No, I didn't really almost
You
die.
had to do it in a week.
So
I had to do it in a week.
How many people are at max power right now? Okay, so only like barely a third. Yeah, but I mean, so right there, like that was one of the raids that like had a cap. Like I tried it day 1 as well. You could not beat this one.
That's a really, really good point.
You could be 380 and above.
Yeah, and we're only like about a month after that raid launch. So I mean, we'll keep that in consideration as well.
Points about the raids. What do you got?
So CJ was talking about individual encounters, like the dogs. You said you didn't like the dogs. I don't like the jumping puzzle at the beginning of Eater of Worlds. I think that's the worst experience in all of Destiny raids. So
what? Standing on a platform? Wait. You got to go second.
With your team, you can't even like solo through it. You have to wait for each person to jump and leapfrog. It just seems like a pointless experience after the first time.
Would you move Eater below Leviathan then? Like as an overall experience?
Yeah, I would. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying about a lot of Destiny 1 raids. It's like I think the Destiny 2 raids are a departure in that they needed to do something different. But when you play through them the first time and you figure it out because there's less information to know what you're doing, I don't think it holds up over time once you know what's happening. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
A few more raid critiques.
Hey, I'll go well on SOS, guys, on the Spire.
Hey.
I think because a lot of people haven't played it out there and they've struggled with the cap.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why it's not up the list.
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
so too.
And I think it would be 4th place if a lot of people have experienced it and got it.
I love it.
The mechanics and everything else and working together, and that's what I liked about King's Fall.
Yeah.
I think it took away the God Guardian, Crota running through on their own, and that was my experience from it. You sort of played as a team and a unit, and I think that's what I love about the raid. It's a 6-man thing, and I think that's what it's
it opens up. You got to throw this ball around in a circle. Thank you so much for saying something. Yeah, I totally agree with the point that he made. You can go ahead to the mic. That you should experience it because it's really, really fun. Everybody's doing something in the beginning to unlock it. Then there is sort of like a mechanical puzzle of getting from point A to the final boss. Then you fight the pre-final boss with the throwing the bombs, and then you fight the final boss.
And some of that I think was because of Crota. It's like you could two-man Crota or solo Crota. So a lot of these decisions, I think, probably that they made moving forward was, making sure there was things that you had to have all 6 people.
And then when you
in,
get
so.
really good, you shotgun the final boss to death.
In one
and that
phase.
is such an amazing feeling. What do you got?
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
So I feel like, with just any kind of Cabal raids, when we're talking about Destiny 1, when we're like, oh, what's a Cabal raid? We're going to be like, oh, God, it's going to be so tanky and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden we have all these mechanical-driven things, and it's just kind of like, oh, where's the bosses that we were fighting all of Destiny 1?
Yeah.
So I think a little bit maybe it's like maybe just we were let down by it, but we really didn't know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's a good point.
fair.
Are you okay with Vault being number 1?
Oh, yeah. Like, that was my first raid ever. Like, I went from, like, Call of Duty, Battlefield 1, like, I'm pro MLG to, like, oh, that does not matter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
Dude, that's what it was
Nice.
for
It's
me.
teamwork, right?
Yeah, it was
And
like,
working together.
who were obviously big Halo players and stuff like that here? Raise your hands. Yeah, a lot of those Halo players.
Yeah, me too.
That was, when you played Halo multiplayer and then you came into this, like, I actually don't even think I did VOG for the first month plus because I was just, like, playing Crucible all the time. So, yeah, for me too, it was the same thing.
What you got?
What's your favorite moment in a raid when you're doing it the first time? Mine would be like...
Oh, the first time?
Yeah, so the Wrath Machine when you're going down that really long stretch of
Oh,
stairs.
at the
Like,
end.
that
was
sick.
really good.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Beautiful.
The reveal of the big red room. That's a really good one.
yeah, that was
Very,
really
very
good.
iconic.
Oh, I need a second. Yeah, you guys go if you can think of it.
The first time, probably the jumping puzzle in Vault of Glass.
Yeah,
Jumping
with the
pile.
the disappearing platform.
Yeah,
there.
that was really fun. And then once
Yeah.
you got it, watching other people do it. My favorite moment ever, though, was on the Flawless run when I did the jump where the platforms were disappearing, and I was a warlock. And warlocks are a little floaty. I hit that piece of geometry, so like the geometry almost knocked me off the ledge, and that was like no. My whole team came here and go, oh no! Ah!
Yeah.
And like I'm bouncing around, and somehow I managed to land. I'm like, oh thank God! And everybody like, you could hear them like relieved that I didn't die because it had happened 2 times already, and we were at that point where like I don't know if I have another run in me.
That little how many pixels of that ledge in VOG?
I know the
walking
stone.
across,
I know the
it's like,
stone. That
"Ah."
almost killed me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The Helmet Fire, long-time listener.
Yeah.
Love you guys' show.
Forgot to give
So,
moments.
number 1 for me would definitely be King's Fall. Especially, I think the most fun we had for us in our groups was the room with the wall pistons that would just launch your Guardian
Yes.
into the wall, and literally we would
Phallic.
like, wait for
The
a guy to
non-phallic
run.
wall pistons.
Yeah. We'd wait for a guy to shoulder charge somebody into the pistons so they could
yeah.
purposely
Yeah.
knock him. But the last question I have for you guys is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there was a misclassification on the list. I thought Crota Zen was a strike.
Okay, come on.
Nice.
All right. Well,
Eater
one
of
of your
Worlds is
memories,
just as
now that
short.
you've had a second, what was your favorite memory?
it is. So I was going to say, it's funny because people do say that about Crota Zen a lot. My favorite moment, I think, in all of them, I think, is from Crota Zen, and that's probably some of the reason. The entrance leading into the Dark Below is actually probably one of my favorites. Jumping down there, coordinating with your team. You're all kind of, I remember explaining it to somebody the first time. All right, there's a bunch of lanterns, there's a bunch of thrall. Just follow me. Are you a hunter? No. So like, what do I do? Oh gosh. And they're dying because they're trying to shoot some stuff. But I do love that intro moment in the dark in Crota Zen. That's probably one of the most iconic moments for me, actually. Exactly, and the stress of being a sword bearer. Arc Strider, man. That last like melee and Crota and sitting there invisible going, shoot them guys, come on!
No, it's 1-2 super, 1, maybe another one, then you get the hell out of there. Yeah.
It was fun, but that was one of my favorite moments.
Fran, do you have a memory?
Folks named all the good stuff. I mean, Wrath absolutely walking into that room, the big red room with the pyramid and the tech, and where we later solved this incredible puzzle. But I also earned the hard shaders, and when I went in that room and wore the shaders for the first time, and it all looked amazing with my warlock. Oh, it was like unbelievable. So I loved that. The style of Wrath is sort of unbeatable, I think. But other than that, actually, it was beating Orcs. Like the number of like claps and deaths and phantom realms and like it took a while and the different strategies.
Slamming, platform 1 on, platform 2.
But different strategies with ogres and titans up on towers and stuff. It really was. It's just so enjoyable. So
What was the guy the knight called that would eat the orbs?
What do we
call them? Blight
Eaters.
Blight
Yes.
Eaters.
I was going to say
Yes,
Orb Eaters.
yes.
It was that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blight Eaters.
So we changed the list because he said Kingsfall should be number 1. So it's Kingsfall, Vogue, Wrath, Eater, Leviathan, Crota, Spire.
Yes.
What? Got, sir?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I would do Leviathan above Eater because I've gotten to where my clan and I, we like carrying people through Leviathan, and it's gotten really fun to just like get 2 or 3 people, bring them in, especially if they're new, explain it to them. It's a raid that you can. It's challenging, but it's not too challenging where you can't help people get through it. And I really like doing that.
Yeah, you got it. I totally agree. I actually have been playing on PC LFG because it's hard for us at IGN to coordinate all our schedules to play together. And when I was doing the review, I wanted to grind my levels to be able to do the raid on day 1. And PC LFG was fantastic. I met a lot of really, really cool people just using that. And
I wish it was
agree.
better. It could be better, but it's getting there.
I do like the moment in the Callus fight where when we first did it. Actually, I played with Steven. Steven's actually on the show now. I did a lot of raids and played trials with Steven for many years. We were ranked, I think, top 60 or something like that the first time we did it. I'm just going to drop that out there. I'll just kill
for a limited
like he
time.
forgot. He has it like screenshotted on his laptop. I think we were definitely ranked.
Like if you
60,
translate
like
before
that.
everyone
He has
else
it
played
tattooed on his
it,
arm.
they were in the lead, and then everybody else played, and they really dropped.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
60th
but that moment when you figured it out, actually, that everybody was seeing something different on their screens, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like figuring that out and having the dialogue where you're like, oh, what's going on? You know, I'm seeing this. Are you seeing that? That was
Chalice
another cool.
dogs.
Yeah, Chalice dogs and Sun dogs.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Up next, we're gonna do a few more stuff about raids. Then we can. Do you guys want to do general questions?
Well,
Yeah. All right.
Well, we still have to do the final, right? Which
Yeah,
we
got
would take the votes.
So now it's Kingsfall, Vogue, Wrath, Leviathan, Eater, Crota, Spire.
But don't we normally take one final? I mean, you let people do this.
We'll
but
do one
we
final
audience
yes,
vote. Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, Kingsfall is the best raid, but secondly, I'm just here to actually defend Crota.
all right.
Because you can
The strike?
Crota. No, it's a raid.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. You can do Crota no matter how many people you have. Say if you don't get enough people to play at that certain time, 1 or 2 people come in. And the story missions actually led up to the raid.
Yes.
Which was the first one to do that even
Yes,
before Kingsfall.
that's a good point.
That is a really good
Vault
point.
of Glass, I mean, we didn't know who Atheon was before the raid. So.
Yeah. So I think we've also talked about that a number of times on the show with Crota and then also with Oryx, that I think that's some of the reason why we feel attached to those raids. And it sounds like they're going to do that a little bit more in Forsaken. The things that you're doing are going to lead up to the raid, and then ultimately the raid boss will potentially be something that you're invested into killing. So yeah, that's a good point.
I have to follow up with you. So the order right now is Kingsfall, Vault of Glass, Wrath, Leviathan, Eater, Crota, Spire. Would you move Crota's End?
Honestly, for me, I mean, I'm in a vast minority, but it's number 2 for me just because of the experiences like soloing it for my Flawless Raider and just my girlfriend Gundam Rose is back there.
Yeah.
Shout out to his girlfriend.
That's right.
The 2 of us would do it, and of course we had the Gjallarhorn.
Did you guys meet playing Destiny or no?
We met on Twitter, but we got very close.
Interesting.
playing
Okay,
Destiny.
I sensed that when you were
Yeah.
talking about it. I was like, okay.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for the feedback
awesome.
about Crota. That's a good point. What do you got, sir?
So when you guys were talking about lost sectors, you specifically mentioned that it was the reward that you wanted to see changed up because that's what was most impactful. So we've been seeing the Vault of Glass and King's Fall are like our number 2, based on just loot.
Oh, I know.
Which one wins?
Yeah, I know.
Just the loot?
Yeah.
So Vogue had Vision of Confluence. You could
we're
get the
gonna do this?
Gjallarhorn. Vogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
the
exclusive
Fatebringer-
loot only, but
Yeah. Fatebringer, all the legendaries.
I know you mentioned Gjallarhorn.
Vision of Confluence.
Praetorian Foil, my
Praetorian
fusion
Foil.
rifle fans.
Yeah.
The armor sets were dope.
They were really good.
Yeah.
Hunter Cloak.
Yeah.
I think Vogue is very hard to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loot wise.
Yeah, Crota had decent weapons.
Who liked
but
the bug infected looking armor from Kingsfall? Anybody?
I like that.
Yeah.
I love Yasmin, man. I love Defiance of
Yeah.
Yasmin.
Dude,
Dude,
wait. That was
Quillums.
you like the sniper?
You said Kingsfall, right?
Yeah. The Kingsfall loot was all like
Dude,
hive thieves.
Yeah, Defiance of Yasmin is awesome.
Zahuli's
Even
Bane.
Quillums, man.
That
That was the best
that was a
machine
terrible
gun,
hand cannon.
probably.
Yeah. Hard to beat Fatebringer, honestly. Like
Yeah.
Fatebringer was such a fantastic hand cannon.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I just want to disagree with the previous caller. I think that Crota's end should be at the bottom of the list because of how buggy the Crota encounter is.
What at the bottom?
Because it was buggy at the time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Well, what do you mean? Like specifically name a bug that you
A lot of
remember.
runs ruined because the sword would disappear before you could pick it up.
Oh my God! I forgot about
Crota
that.
would chase you into the safe area
and hit you.
Close. Yeah.
It was the single most buggy.
Yeah, and then think about even the time when you're walking this way, and then has Crota ever disappeared, and then he was on the other side?
Yep.
Dude, when he showed up in the room.
I think since
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I was in Canada before. Love you, Canada.
Cool. Good point. I moved it. So Crota's at the end. Spire's one above it.
Don't agree with that. But.
So I mean, that's one of those sort of finicky takes, I think. What do you got?
Hello.
I see.
He was.
The part of Crota's End where you run through the beginning is like my favorite encounter of all the raids I've played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The list is fine how it is, but have you ever gotten to the end? Like, what's the worst like person you had? Like, did you have one person left at the end and get through, and they're like running through, like crouching to go invisible to get across the bridge before getting killed? And have you ever been?
Oh, with swords on Crota?
No, like the beginning, the dark room. Like, did it ever
yeah,
get down
the
to where you're
time.
defending the last thing, and it's like
Yeah.
one person, and
Oh,
they're
all
like
the time.
running
Well,
for
I
that
mean,
last-
by the end of it, you had the glitch where you could just, well, not glitch, you could just go and viz, and like one person's like, I'll just finish the intro.
Do you remember
Yeah.
when we did that with
Yeah.
DCP? That was me.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
the
yeah, we
hunter
did a
guy, and
competition with them,
I
I remember.
survived.
We lost
and
by
I,
like a point.
Yeah, and I jumped
Yeah.
across the bridge. Was like the last guy standing walking
Yeah.
through. There's moments that are neat, but yeah, you're right. I mean, Crota at last though? I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. Thanks,
you.
Steve. Two more. And then we'll finalize the list. We'll see if chat has any changes.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions.
So
also.
I would put King's Fall as number one. I was a Tekken tot, so that was the first raid I ever played.
Got it.
But honestly, I would put Prison of Elders ahead of all of the raids in Destiny 2.
We
Really?
talked about this.
I really don't like the death
Skolas.
penalty
Can
in
we
Destiny
turn off his
1.
mic? I'm just kidding. Yeah, sorry.
I really don't like the death penalty in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
You have like the revive tokens. You can't have like, you can't clutch with 4 people like you used to be able to.
yeah.
And I missed when hard mode raids were actually worth something.
Yeah.
Gear that actually mattered.
dropped. Yeah.
No, that's a really
But
good
yeah, I would
point.
put PoE ahead of all
Yeah.
of the D2 raids.
All right. Well, I can't do that, but King's Fall is number one, so thank you. And last,
You get one more person, then I got to tell a quick Prison of Elders story.
Oh God. I
Hey
know
guys,
this.
keep this short. I'm gonna go ahead and say Crota was the worst raid,
Ah.
hands down.
It's there at the end.
Pre rework, because we've had no other raids that were reworked as much as Crota was during the moments of triumph.
Yeah.
That raid was straight garbage when it released in Dark Below.
Because of the technical issues.
Technical issues, overall mechanics. I mean, half the time, I don't think we ever did a legit run getting
the
across the
bridge.
bridge.
Nobody did.
Everyone, it was, hey, everyone wipe.
I
I'm
did at
going
the
to get
beginning.
across, and okay, we're going to, res
Finish it.
ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't think I did it either almost the first year until after King's Fall,
Yeah.
because it was either, hey, I got Bones of A, I'm going to jump across the bridge with the sword, or you got to have Warlocks, and do the rezzing, and let's jump up top and then snipe all the enemies.
Yes,
You're
that was the
absolutely
thing we
right.
did.
Like, I did those things
If we're
too.
talking post-patch, though,
Yeah.
I would say number 2.
Oh,
Wow. So
big
it
jump
jumps
for you.
It's a pretty big jump for me.
Yeah.
Well, on the bridge, you had to get 4 people across, and 2 people would just chill and
Yeah.
kill the thrall or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
even
that's a good
you're right. Even the rework when they did it, like grabbing all those swords at the end and smashing all the
that
enemies
was
before
pretty
you're
fun.
heading into the Shrieker area, like that was actually really cool.
I'll go ahead and
too,
keep it
so.
at dead last.
No, that's 2. You swapped it to
Let's
2.
let them
So
decide
it just comes down to what, are we talking pre-patch or,
Oh,
pre or
that's-
post-patch?
There's the asterisk
yeah,
there.
that's the asterisk.
You have to talk post-patch inevitably, because that's what it is.
That's the final
Today,
one. Yeah, if that's the case,
what
we're
it
talking
is now.
post-patch, number 2.
Like this guy. Crota number 2.
Well, chat's just gonna. I'll leave it. I'll
It's
put an
called
asterisk.
Crota's.
talking about?
It's called Crota's End for a reason. So let's leave it at the end
all right.
of the.
Man, so much hate.
I tried.
All right, so in here, and then this is what we ended up with: King's Fall, Crota, Vault of Glass, Wrath of the Machine, Leviathan, Eater, Spire of Stars, and then Crota's actually dead last.
So top
First Crota.
for King's Fall, Crota, Vault, Wrath.
Yeah,
King's
Leviathan,
Fall, Crota,
Eater,
Vault.
Spire.
Real quick, but just in intermission here while we're thinking about this final list. Somebody did mention the Prison of Elders.
So Prison of
Yes.
Elders, number 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
What's your Prison of Elders memory that you want to say?
Skolas was actually a pretty fun boss.
Yeah.
It was something.
It was pretty grindy, Before I started working at IGN, like many, I don't know, how many of you played with Destin or I or any?
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
Good. Yeah, good.
So, there you go.
I get a little angry when I play video games.
I don't know if you've noticed that about Destin. So Destin and I played, I think it was, Skolas, when it was Arcburn.
Ooh.
That was a mistake.
I didn't think we were going to be friends.
I
didn't think we were going to be friends anymore after. There was a time where we tried 2 or 3 times and we finally killed Skolas, but then all the, I think it was like the Shanks, and stuff killed us. It was when he meleeed us, and then Destin was like, I'm out! And I'm like, Destin? And then he was just rage quit. And I don't think I talked to Destin for about 3 months after that.
I was so mad because we kept dying for like
it was crazy
dumb reasons. Like we get one-hit deaths, and it was not.
I love him now. Yeah. We're good. Skolas was a fun raid. Boss, not a raid, but he was a very good boss.
I remember. Any final notes?
No changes on the YouTube poll. So.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, that is the final list. I'll open it up real quick. I'll just say if anybody has any questions, we have about 10 more minutes to fill. So
wait, is this our this is the final list? Wait,
this
what?
Is the list.
Yeah.
Let's go. I thought we're doing the final unseating moment.
Love the wild card with Crota in there at second magically.
All right.
That was great.
But meaning
right.
one,
Twitch
I thought
chat.
we'd give the audience one last chance to unseat the top.
All right.
That's how it works normally.
Okay, Fran. All right.
Because
All right,
meaning
everybody.
you had personal.
Here's the list. King's Fall. All right,
show of
hands for
hands. Show of
King's
hands.
Fall. That was King's Fall. Okay. We'll do clapping, I guess, because it's an audio show, right? Vault of Glass for. All right. So that's for number 1 or number 2? All right, let's try this again.
Hands up for
All
Bob.
right.
Hands.
King's Fall at number 1, hands.
Lot of
Vault of Glass at number 1, hands. Oh man, that's like even.
It's
it was
close, man. No,
you have a
they're
totally
just spread out more.
One guy's got 2 hands up.
then you got to do it again. We have to know which is. In
All right,
two.
King's Fall for number 1.
We might have to count
1,
these.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, cheater, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25. All right, Vault of Glass. 1, 2, 3, 4. 27, 28,
really?
Vault 30.
There it is.
Stragglers
The
coming
right
in at the
way.
end, ruining everything.
All right.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Very
Nice.
look how close that is, though. So it means
that's
we're on to
awesome.
something.
All right, so Vault of Glass number 1, King's Fall's number 2. We've settled that. Number 3, Crota. Who thinks Crota should be at number 3? It's gone.
There's like wait, there were 3 hands in the room.
Yeah. I think Wrath is.
Who
probably
thinks Wrath should be number? So it comes
3.
down.
Yes.
It comes down to either Wrath or Leviathan at number 3. Does everybody agree with that? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying.
Okay, so number 3. Let's see hands for Wrath.
Yeah.
number
You're
3.
voting against
Probably
Leviathan.
about like 50,
Yeah.
40.
Number 3. Who thinks Leviathan should be at number 3? Nobody.
No.
All right.
2 or 3.
We got ourselves
Leviathan number 4. 1 person for Leviathan at number 4.
What's 4?
Wow.
Crota. Wow.
All right.
Crota at number 4. Raise your hands.
What?
That,
Really?
dude? Look at that.
Wow, we
I told
unseated
you that
Leviathan
first
for
list
4.
that we
All right.
had, man.
All right.
Nostalgia.
We have Leviathan, Eater, and Spire left. So Leviathan at number 5.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Leviathan at number, just for fun, Leviathan at number 6?
No.
No, okay. So then
Eater.
Eater or Spire at number 6?
Eater.
Eater. All right. Hands for Eater of Worlds at number 6.
Yeah.
Hands for Spire of Stars at number 6. All right. So yeah, we have our definitive list. That's definitely
That was my list.
I
100%
like
accurate.
the look at this. Let's just go over it. One more time.
Vault of Glass is the best raid that Bungie has ever created.
Absolutely.
You can't beat the first one.
Absolutely.
King's Fall.
Yes.
Good job, Luke Smith, because you
Yes.
came in at number 2.
Yes.
And Mark.
Close.
Wrath of the
Noseworthy.
Machine, coming from some people that are working on Forsaken right now,
Yeah.
including Scott.
Scott
Wrath
Taylor.
of the Machine.
Nice team.
Congrats. That is our number 3 entry. Crota's End. I have no idea who made Crota's End. Coming in at number 4 with the surprise. People not so hot on Leviathan, but they still like it at number 5. Eater of Worlds, number 6. And Spire of Stars, mostly because people haven't played it. Dead last.
Yeah.
I still love that raid, though. This was very, very fun.
point.
Chat, what is chat saying? Destin's so handsome and really good at
not too
posting.
active. There was a lot of VOG votes. So
He's definitely
it came in
not paid
nicely.
off.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah.
I think that's
And
the
he's
right
lost weight.
list. So let's do a couple A or B tests real quick. We got like 5 minutes before we can wrap it up. Do you want to do a few of these?
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Let's
Let's
do it.
do it. All right. So we're gonna do a couple more polls here. Random rolls versus static rolls.
Now that we've had static rolls, the answer is easy.
So,
who likes static rolls? 2 people, 3 people.
Interesting.
I like some of the qualities, but
Random rolls.
Random rolls.
Oh wow!
Boom.
Look, the whole room except for those 3.
There it is. No, I mean this is I'm intrigued because a lot of times there's some people who say, you know what, I like what they did with Destiny 2 PvP, and I don't want random rolls introduced. Like I read a lot of the YouTube comments, I see that stuff. So I do want to do these kind of surveys to see what people think. But,
This is why we keep the show half an hour.
Yeah.
Safe Cloud,
So
Trip Hazard in chat.
It just goes off the rails.
Yeah, that's all
Said,
right.
few people chimed in and said random.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
Random.
Seems like
Random.
obvious.
Yeah. But so
right.
that I'm excited
What other
for.
AB do you have?
Oh, I have a couple others. So, 2 primaries and a power, or
Wait,
what
what?
Forsaken will be, where the random slots for everybody. So with weapons like shotguns and
Nobody's
primary, secondary.
experienced it,
No,
though.
well, it's who's played Gambit,
Gambit.
here. Some people have played Gambit. So who's excited about the new changes coming to Forsaken? Who wants it to stay the same with 2 primaries and a power? 0.
Nobody. Who wants to go back to D1?
Okay. So, and you haven't played Destiny Forsaken, some people. Destiny 1 with primary weapons and then fusions and everything in second and power in third, or potentially this new system. Who's looking forward to the new system? Okay. Who misses D1 system? Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
right?
So
Yeah.
people are excited about what's coming for Forsaken. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
explosive
thought,
slot.
Well, I thought that they might do something like that too. Yeah, like a 4th slot, because I think some of the issues that people are seeing is that.
No, you're crazy. A 4th slot?
Well,
Not
no,
a
but
4th slot?
well, yeah, because it's like
No.
we'll see how the power and weapon economy works, because the ammo is still the question that they haven't yet dialed in. So we'll see what that.
All right, I got a question for you guys.
All right.
Machine guns should be gone forever.
Ooh.
Or bring machine guns back.
There you go.
That's easy.
Thank you.
Machine guns. All right, so I want to see some machine guns. Fran, you got anything?
I really just want the tower casuals that you start with, which are the worst items you can get. But you used to be able to shade them in Destiny 1. You can no longer shade your worst gear, which for me was a point of pride that I would. Hold on, that it's not a question; it's just a statement. I didn't know I had to come up with one.
That's all right.
This one's for Scott if he's listening. Shake Shack or In-N-Out? Let's hear it for Shake Shack.
Shake Shack.
In-N-Out.
Oh, okay.
In-N-Out wins. Sorry, Scott.
Okay. Wow. Look at that
Shake Shack's
shot.
very good, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm Shake Shack.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly it.
Yeah,
you guys
that's
have anything else
everything
you want
that we have.
to
Craig
say?
in the back there. Can we wrap it up a little early? Is that okay? We're all
All
right.
right.
All right, so at the end of the show, you guys all know that we do a certain little thing. So, and here's how we do it. I say, all right, until next time, and then we all say it at the same time.
And then Fran
if
usually
you want to
kind of
join
goes
us,
like, "Oh, when are we doing this?
Because
is
of
this happening?"
this. Otherwise, he would have just shouted it and like, it wouldn't be ready.
All right, so if you guys want to join us for this one, that is totally welcome and allowed. So we're going to do it right now. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And
Wait.
in the audience,
See, this is exactly
You
what
didn't
happens
tell
in the
them
studio.
what we're doing if they've never heard of it.
What are we going to do?
Let
Is anybody confused? Raise your hand if you're confused.
Oh, you want to out people?
That one
Everybody's
there, Fran,
embarrassed.
You're kin.
So
He
here's
voted for Vault twice.
Let's do this. What's the key? Let's do this. Is we're gonna say so, and then after
So
that is the
until
script.
next time.
Until next time, and then we say Guardians out. Everything all together.
When you
Everybody
see
in
an,
unison.
when you see an edit before the ending of the show, this is what happens.
It is
every
about precision.
week. I'm
It is
not lying.
just like the raid. It is a timepiece, and everybody must be coordinated.
Well, thank you, everybody on stage, for joining me, and everybody in the audience, and everybody online for watching this episode. Until next time, Guardians out!
Did you point at the camera or the wide?
I just pointed straight.
You see, you have to rehearse your raid team. That's it.
Thanks, guys. That was good.